Our final speaker in this block is Thomas Wendt. Thomas, please make your way to the stage. You're still a bit far away. He's co-founder and director of Apparat Gaming, which describes itself as iGaming with a German accent. I think we're all curious to hear what this exactly entails. And I'm sure Mr. Wendt can also tell us more about the preferences of German players, the potential reward of satisfying their demand for local content. Thomas, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, my 12 minutes. I have to admit I'm a little bit nervous because I was prepared for a panel. Then I learned it's not a panel, I'm alone here. I was told to imagine everybody of you naked to get a little bit away from my nervousness, so I'll take off the glasses because of this image in my head. Okay, iGaming with a German accent. We are one of the providers, of the content providers Marcel Tobler was speaking about. That's what I say, or I'd like to describe from the market for the market. A little bit about me, because I have some background. After university, I've founded a gaming company, not gambling, iGaming, gaming company now called Serious Gaming. I sold it to a listed TV producer. The Germans may know it. That's the guys who do TV Total, Brainpool. They were sold later on themselves to MTV. And I'm in the industry now since 2014, sharing with Professor Jandorf, because I was managing director of an IT company belonging to Schmidt Group. That was the number 3, number 4, number 5. Who knows? In the land-based arcades at that time, about 7,000 AWPs out in the German market. And I became managing director for Buddy Wolf, responsible for the product in 2014. Buddy Wolf is, may also be known to 1 or 3 here in the room, is the number 3 in the German AWP market after the usual suspects, Gauselmann and Novomatic. Also at that time tried to enter the Italian market and still quite strong in the Spanish market. So I founded my own company due to the German regulation. Some of them here may think that not be the best idea when you hear about how the regulation came into place. But let's be a little bit enthusiastic and naive, like me, when I founded the company, Apparat Gaming. My initial thesis is the gambling market will not stay as it is, will not remain as it is, and the product will change. And here maybe the regulator comes a little bit into place, but that the product will not stay as it is may sound like a no-brainer. Think about technology, how technology is evolving, not only the mobile, but the market has been changed. Now the main part of the market is done in mobile, so this thing looks like a simple thing. It won't change like it is. But why do the games always like they have been looking since Las Vegas times? So I think here is something sooner or later will take place, and I'd like to be part of it. And I'd like to be part of it here in the German market. So when everybody's talking about the next level in gaming, they talk about more features, or in the international market, more payouts, higher risk, something which won't work for the German market. So it's not only about technology, I don't see it yet. It's not happening right now. There's a lot of happening, but is it making the games more interesting? But still, I believe in this market. I see these kind of changes as a chance. Maybe sounds a little bit naive, especially for a German, but here in Germany, SUSE invented the computer, and I don't believe in German Angst. I'd like to take this approach into the new steps, because, like I already said, I believe in the market. Marcel said, I like the German market because of the complexity. I do so too, because here's some of the competition of the international markets, around 25,000 games right now on online market. They are not here in the German market, not yet, and that's part of the complexity. But they will come sooner or later. But I think they have to adapt to this special German market, and therefore you have to understand it. And the other thing, I not only believe in the German market, I also believe in, coming from land-based, I believe in player protection. I believe in the vital need for player protection and regulation. But, and there is a but this current setup makes it quite hard. Yes, it's a kind of barrier for, like it was in the land-based, or is still in the land-based, for other competitors to enter the market. Therefore, you have to understand it best. We believe we do that. But as we heard from the H2 data today by Mr. Birkin, there will be the danger that even besides financial blocking, IP blocking, and all the other tasks, there will be part of the market which will be, okay, we can't call it gray anymore, it will be black market. So player will go there where they have the most fun. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not questioning here the measures like taxation or deposit limit, because that's part of the protection for participants like us, that we don't have to compete right now with all these net ends and so on in the German market, because they have to adapt their games to the market. They have to get certified here in the market, and they have to understand the players. But I think when the rest of the world is playing in other rules, players will always find their way to go there where they have most fun about their games. In the end, this is what we discuss here. It's about fun. We do entertainment. And so here I don't share the opinion or the estimation of Marcel. The 100% is a nice target, but I don't think in this way it will be reached. Because that's how the internet works. You can't stand at the beach and cry to the sea, you don't pass me, because the sea is not interested in that. And internet, people will always find their way to go around. So think about maybe just not the image of the beach, but think about how you drive yourself cars. When there is a speed limit, are you always stuck to these kind of speed limits? I don't want to compare, because in German it would be Ordnungswidrigkeit versus Straftat. But still, people who want to do, they will do. And I think what we have to think about, there's always a niche, somehow, somewhere, and maybe we will have to think about the chances of the regulation instead of just the obstacles and the hurdles of the regulation. Once again, because I know it's easy to misunderstand that, I'm pro-regulation, I want the player protection, and I want to see it as a chance, but what I'd like to take a look at is to add some value for the player. And that's a little bit hard when you compete just in terms of RTP. When you have 96 point something out there, there's even games which make the player believe they have 99% payout. And in Germany, you can't, due to the tax, do below, I don't know, best 90. Some have RTPs of 87, 88. So this one about just talking about the wins won't work. And for the players who take a look at these kind of entertainment, it won't work in the German market as it is. What I do believe is a little bit, as I said, naive, because we need to the German market, as we hear, number 2, number 3. I heard it number 3 behind Italy. It's still one of the biggest markets. What do the players search when they play? A few of them hope for the life-changing moment. But they should play Lotto then. So why do we all play? Because Gausemann always states every one of us is a player. And I believe that's true. Yes, every one of us is a player. We started as children, we started playing, and what did we play? I think the idea is not as much features, as much winning lines, as much 50,000 times the stake to win, but that with a chance which is not existing. Then you should play lotto. I think this is something which should be kind of reduced to the max. We see it in the German market. My own company, we started producing games, taking the experience we took from the land-based to the online market, learning that not everything which is working in the land-based market is now as valid, as good working in the online market. And we see that the German players are very, very specific because we have data with our MGA license from other regulated markets, like Sweden, for example. And we see how players behave different and how we should focus when it comes to the German accent and it comes to the German market. So there are a lot of content providers who obviously know that, the usual suspects, but they think in the frame which is current right now, and I'd like to be a little bit more naive and saying, why aren't we able, up to now, taking playing, gaming, gambling into the middle of society? So my son is aged 14, and in the Corona time he was playing a little bit too much Fortnite and stuff like that. And when he's looking over my shoulder, when I'm testing one of our games, he is always a little bit, okay, why did you win? What happened there? That's not interesting, that's boring. But there were games which interested them. So why don't we take a little bit more from these games into our games? And I'm not talking about 3D animation. I'm not talking about making it more look like a video or something like that. That just increases the production value, but not really the commitment of the player. I believe something like which could work is at the moment not possible due to the regulation. Maybe sooner or later it will be, and I don't question the regulation in general. I think it's good and it's necessary, but reduced to the max means something like rock, scissors, paper game. Everyone knows it. It's a simple one. It's something where I'm playing not against the computer, I'm playing against the player. So why don't we do something like player against player with the same deposits and the same limits as we have now and the same taxations, and something which brings into the future, because I'm not playing against the random mathematics. I don't play against something which is a number I don't understand. I believe I could control it. When I do something against another player, it could be what we started when we played as children. I win, you lose, next round. Hey, let's try it again. You just had luck. I'd like to do something like this again. Of course, there are already games existing which give the impression a little bit. Fast rounds, easy to understand. When I sold my company, my gaming company in the year 2000, 2000. I sold it in year 2000. Everyone believed of games with a million budget or a few million budget. And the games which were successful, maybe a few of them still know, it was the very easiest game to understand. It was at that time Warhorn. It was just very, very simple. So I believe something easy to access, fast to play, having fun, entertainment factor, and probably against someone else. To win, to play against someone, that could be something of the future. It's not that time now, but I believe, understand the player. Okay, my timer says I'm done. Understand the player, know what's they're interested, focus on, and then you will be able to stay in the market, to compete in the market. And now I have to answer questions, I guess.
No. The zero was not the starting sign; it was the.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. This was really, and I think in the end you went to what other companies offer in social gaming, so quite interesting. Let's see if there's one quick question from the audience before we break for lunch. Is any question right here? Then we have a microphone to you. Nothing. Then we go to Slido. I think there were quite a few questions in Slido, but let's take one quickly. So, Thomas, German accent, what is your most successful game product right now, and why?
Okay, we do offer slot games, and we just started. We left stealth mode in June. We have a lot of partners. We're just starting right now, so I wouldn't say that what we learned from our first 6 games right now, in the end of this year, we are about to offer 10 with partners like Tipico, Wunderino, Sunmaker.de. It's different to certain types of players. So we have to admit that the more simple games, not with the highest product values, are, especially with German players, easy to understand, hard mathematics. That's the one which work best. So we have 2 games which are performing above our expectations, and we didn't think that, for example, these kind of fruit games would work that well, because we believed it could be somewhere else. But at the moment, we're on stage 1. I believe there could be something of a stage 4, what I was talking about. So I'd like to proceed and go a little bit into, and maybe naive, into the future, because I'm still believing it will happen sooner or later, and the market has to change. So
I think that also reflects on the earlier speakers of the German block. So Thomas, thank you very much. Really, really interesting. I think we heard some interesting aspects of the German market from various perspectives. Let's take that away for lunch, maybe chat with some of the people who were just here on stage, and we'll see you back again in 1 hour, please.
Thank you
very much. Thank you.